Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Installation-00, Session 3, Part 2. As we begin this combat segment, I want to extend a very special thank you to, well, on your screen, audience, he'll appear as Light-Of-Discerning-Neutrality, but he is known to us as Demon, and he helped me a lot with figuring out the combat system and making sure it's as balanced as it can be.
It's been a great time, and I've been happy to help.
Thank you very much, my friend. You are free to go.
But you're so entertaining. But I shall leave.
Well, if you want to stick around on mute, I suppose you could. Very well, then. Alright, audience. How combat's going to work, more or less like D&D, but with our own homebrew system. Turn-based, and what you need to know, audience, is the green parts are half cover, red parts are full cover, and anything black cannot be moved through unless you can fly. For the purposes of expedience, I did go ahead and roll out a turn order in advance of this session, which I'll copy-paste into the chat here. All right, bit of introduction here. Hunter, you look ahead. You feel your vision squeeze inward as you see the enemy. 6 grunts, 2 jackals. You see the leading figure of that pod ahead of you freeze, and you know you've been spotted. Do you bother to inform the other team?
I radio to Alf. Enemy pod ahead of us. Believe I've been spotted. Moving to cover. And with that, Hunter moves to cover, somewhat at a sprint, but still in the vain hope that he wasn't noticed.
It's not your turn yet, but...
yeah, that's what he's trying to do. He just lets them know, and is getting ready to move.
All right. Alf, it's your turn. Hearing that, you are still about 60 meters behind Arsharam and Mike as they're nearer to the top of this mountain. And what do you do?
So where would that put me exactly on the map? If I'm like, or how far off of it I am?
Imagine yourself like 2 squares up and 40 squares to the left off the picture. Off the picture of the boundaries of the picture.
So am I able to see the enemy at all?
You could step 6 meters to your right and try peeking over the ledge.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, you do so. As you lean over the ledge of this canyon, I'm not sure quite the term for it. As you lean over and look to your left and look leftward down the length of the canyon, you do spot, you think, something. It's very difficult to make out in the fog. You notice that, wait, there's fog and snow in this canyon. Where's this coming from? You can't even tell. So you do think you see Hunter's group far, far down the length of the canyon. What do you do? You could. You could conceivably jump down. Your armor is tough enough to take the fall. It's about like 30 meters up.
Or you can yell harsh words.
would I be able to move further down toward the, like, further down the length of the ridge?
You could, although, from what you can tell, the enemy is right on them, and you might not have the time.
This is where my indecisiveness is biting me in the butt.
You want to try just hopping over the ledge and punching a fist into the cliff face so you can moderate your descent.
Screw it, yes.
All right, doing that. And you succeed. You throw yourself over the ledge and swing yourself down. You manage to drive your fist into the rock, and it produces this crack that echoes through the canyon, which, Hunter, you and your group hear a second later. And Alf, you manage to just about drive your knees and both of your hands into the rock as you're grinding your way downward. You slow yourself just enough that you take no real damage as you then touch down on the snow-covered floor of this crevice. That would have taken up about half your movement, I'll say.
Yeah.
What do you do now?
Am I on the map yet?
Not yet, but you can get there if you run.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sprint.
Sprinting full speed down the canyon toward your allies.
I'm trying also if I get there, see if I can get the cover at all.
Mm-hmm. Kevin, it's your turn.
I'm at B7, so lower right?
Yeah.
Could I move into full cover and shoot out at them?
All right. You do so, although, let me count. 1, 2, 3. You're not quite in range of anything. The enemy's still far enough away that they are roughly obscured by the fog.
Yeah. I will stay in cover then.
Alrighty, you're ending your turn.
Yes.
And we move on to the two jackals.
Wait, just as confirmation, do I have my M7 or the M6?
You have your M7 equipped.
Alright.
Alright, we move on to the two jackals. Hunter, as you're staring down this canyon, down the length of this canyon at these silhouettes obscured by the fog, you see the two taller figures. They appear to take weapons off of their backs, carbines. You recognize the silhouette, and you hear an echoing shriek echo through the canyon. And moving up to 04 are a pair of jackals wielding carbines.
Do they have their shields?
They do not have personal defense gauntlets, no.
Okay, easy pickings. Somewhat easy pickings. I don't know. Combat.
Zabza is in possession to get them. Or he will be next turn.
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm gonna have fun.
Well, hang on, counting a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your assault rifle is just out of range of this pair of jackals, Hunter, unfortunately. You can't take a reaction shot.
Fuck.
Throw a grenade?
Yo, yeah, fuck it. me try and toss a frag. How far are they?
They are about 24 meters out.
24. My optimal throwing range is 40. I'm gonna pretty good. Long ball of frag those sons of bitches.
Alrighty. Ooh, that is a good roll.
Fuck yeah, it is.
All right.
Almost critical.
Almost. You throw your grenade at this pair of jackals. It lands at about N7. And the jackals, seeing this, they attempt to dodge.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's a failure. That's a critical failure.
Yes!
Okay then, let me do some math.
Fuck you, you KFC wannabe sons of bitches.
So they sort of pick up the grenade and are like, what's this?
Oh, this is a weird.
Is it a fruit?
Look, my friend, it is pineapple. Nom nom nom.
I'll describe what happens after I roll. Oh damn, 3.
Their brains just fucking turn off. It's the fucking dial. It's the fucking dial-up internet noise as they see a frag grenade land at their fucking feet.
Hey, you're being very mean to them. These were Craig's best apprentices.
Okay. The frag grenade lands at N7. The pair of Kigyar, they sort of glance at the grenade, and they both face forward again, but then they realize, oh shit, that was a grenade, and you hear a squawk, and then the grenade explodes.
Fuck yeah.
A rock.
The both of them attempt, they try so hard to throw themselves to their right, but the both of them, they're still...
Turns out those you don't.
Craig's best apprentice is my ass.
They're still caught in the outer bounds of the explosion, and so they both take 0.5 laceration damage.
Better than no damage. Wait, as they're getting up after the explosion, Hunter, like, he decides to, like, call a bluff and says out loud, hand me another grenade.
Your teammates cannot fulfill that request until their turn.
Yeah, it's a bluff.
Yeah,
Trying to scare them.
I think he's trying to psych them out.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't know whether they understand your language. The pair of Kigyar, they both appear very disheveled. One of them is missing half his face now. And you see the bone sort of peeking through, and he shakes his head, and the other one has a massive gash up the side of his bicep, or what you think is a bicep. One of them screeches and levels his carbine, and he aims at you, Hunter.
Worth it. Can I? Do I still have another? Hang on, let me look at my stats. See if I can make another reaction and try to get to cover.
None of your weapons are within range, unfortunately, of them.
I'm not trying to shoot them, I'm trying to get the cover or at least dodge.
You can roll to dodge after I roll to hit.
Alright.
Okay, Do you attempt to dodge?
Yes.
Hi there, this is Colonel Sanders. Enjoy our
What
kickin' chicken.
What do I roll?
I will be doing rolling here. One moment. You fail.
Damn it.
All right. They fire this. Both of the Kigyar, they level their carbines, and these green lances of energy fire from their weapons. You think like 8, 9 rounds were fired in your direction, and if I can find your stats real quick, 3 of their bullets hit you, Hunter. Thankfully, you take no actual damage, although both of your puncture soaks are used up.
Fuck.
Yes, you tried to throw yourself to the floor. Unfortunately, you did so a bit too early, and they sort of just waited till you got back up.
They just looked at each other like, why'd he get down so quickly? We can still shoot him.
Yeah. Okay, that's the Kick-Ass pair's turn used up. Zapata, it's your turn now.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to move 14 meters towards them, so that's, let me see here. 1, 2, 3, 7.
That's an
Like H. Like H4.
H4. Yes, you can do that.
Okay. I run up there.
The Kool-Aid man enters the fray.
Oh yeah.
He does.
And they will fire at you in reaction.
Oh
Shit.
no.
Oh, yeah. Just the two guys. Oh no. Oh no. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
Shit.
Oh no.
Their bullets, 5 of their rounds hit, although I can pull up the weapon stats. You only feel 1 get past your armor. Very lucky shot, Zapata. And it stings, but you feel fine.
I am good with this.
That tickles.
Okay, so once I actually get to H4, I'm gonna go full defense, which is just me basically getting down to what a hunter usually, shows up as. And then I'm gonna fire my fuel rod cannon right in their face.
Fair enough.
This will freaking teach you little bastards to shoot at me.
Back in my days, I was better.
I am made out of worms. Great bait, mate.
I am made out of worms. Your opinion is invalid.
I am a very, very angry pile of worms.
All the worms just simultaneously go, meh.
Ah. Hit. Zapata.
Having a good day.
Yep. Zapata, you hunt down your... what? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
What did I say?
Nothing much. Zabata, you take one carbine bullet to your gut, and it doesn't really hurt that much.
Damn it.
And when you get to the location you wanted to, you hunch down, raise your shield in front of you, and you lift up your cannon arm. You charge up the fuel rod, and you fire it. The jackals attempt to dodge. They just about manage, but as your fuel rod lands near them, they both still die.
Hoorah, motherfucker!
Ooh, fucking rah! Right, chicken anyway.
They try to throw themselves backward, but the radius of the explosion as your fuel rod flies near to where they were standing, and the entire 10-meter radius just goes up in this green glow. And then after it fades, there's two crumpled and seared corpses.
Well, it wasn't to the face, but it works.
Are the grunts scared?
Interestingly, as you're standing there, Zapata, you are just close enough to see the 6 grunts. And they see you, and they do look very terrified.
This is why you do not shoot me. I get very, very annoyed.
Frank, I'm down.
Mike, it is your turn. You are hanging on to Arsharam's back.
Can I see the grunts?
Not at the moment, although you can get down from him.
Okay, do that.
All right. You are standing about 6 meters to the left of the cliff canyon edge.
Okay, move up to the edge.
All right, you look over the edge, and roughly 3 squares to the north of D1 on the battle map. That's where you are. You look to your left and see 2 seared jackal corpses and Zapata standing roughly in the middle.
Okay, can I not see anything else?
You do see the grunts far away, although firing at them from where you are will be slightly difficult.
Okay, well, reposition then.
All right, you move to the right.
Yes.
Okay, you move to you move to about H,
Alright.
and it would be slightly easier now. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see. How many grunts are there?
6.
Okay. Do I understand that they look terrified?
You can't really see their expressions or make out their body language, so not really.
Alright, well, this will make them piss their pants, and then I'll understand. I'm gonna shoot at them.
Alrighty.
These poor little shits.
Okay. You raise your concussion rifle to your shoulder. At first you aim down sight, although you realize, wait, this thing doesn't have sights, and oh yeah, my HUD already shows me where the gun is aiming. So you sort of readjust, right? And you fire 3 rounds. The first goes wide and strikes the inside of the other canyon wall. The other 2 rounds, though, they hit, and One of them is a direct impact.
Oof. Fuck yeah!
Oh boy.
I don't know how it feels, just dicks!
You ever see that video, the old video of an infantryman? There's an infantryman with a bunch of others standing around an artillery cannon as it's firing, and one guy is right behind the barrel of the thing, and it fires, and the thing just rocks back and just fucking hits the dude square in the chest and pretty much annihilates him from existence. You ever see that video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's essentially what happens when your concussion rifle round hits one grunt in the top of the head. Like, in one instant, he's standing there, presumably very frightened, and in the next, he's just crumpled, face down in the dirt, and with a lot of bones broken. And incidentally, that shot also threw another grunt, threw another grunt standing nearby to the floor as well, and not moving.
Satisfaction.
Cathartic, eh?
Those about that mic are killing people by the twos.
Your second concussion rifle round hits near enough to do damage as another 3 grunts are also... Well, 2 of them die and 1 is severely burned as these rounds thump through your rifle into your shoulder, and when they impact, it's this bright red, gold-ish flash with these massive thundering booms.
I am the howitzer, I am the artillery.
Hunter, it's your turn.
Alright. Going to sprint upwards, up and forward, to get to where the grunts are at about... We'll say, and... 6.
Let me...
If I can make it that far, at least.
You can make it to L6.
But I think that should still be enough to get me in range of them, right? Right.
Yes.
Alright. Once I'm in range, get down on one knee, assault rifle out, and just start spraying at the fuckers. Whoever's left.
Okay. There are 3 left.
Yeah, just start shooting at one and just turn as I shoot to try and spray as many as I can.
Yeah, you kill all of them. Your spray of assault rifle bullets smack into their bodies, and blue bioluminescent blood splatters across the snow.
Real quick narrative declaration. Hunter rolls out from cover on one knee with assault rifle in hand and says to the grunts, "Boo."
Sure.
And in their panic, mows them all down like fucking grass.
Very quickly, I need to go to the bathroom again. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Boss, start singing.
Oh no.
And yeah, on that day there was silence. By the way, I love how we just showed up and already all these motherfuckers are dead.
Yeah.
Couldn't hold it in. Heaven knows I tried. I don't know what I was thinking. Eating Chipotle with ramen noodles. Shit.
Boss, what type of fucking ramen do you eat that sends you to the shitter?
Yeah. Archo, this is your conscience speaking. Remember, your shit does stink. So why don't you have Febreze, you fucking animal? Remember, Archo, if it splashes and the water hits your balls, you must now take a shower.
I mean, a bidet or faucet nearby should be more than enough.
Alright, Archo, concentrate and push! Push!
Can somebody explain to me why this is so fun? Because it's just miming along.
Jesus fucking Christ! I take my head.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back, DM.
I wasn't around to hear any of that, but
Aw, you did it for nothing,
One
boss.
plop.
I'm pretty sure he's going to upload that for everybody to hear.
yeah, he is.
Okay.
The two jackals and 6 grunts. They are
really-
dead. You blitzed them before they could do much of anything.
Yeah. Blitzkrieg,
No.
baby.
They're not just dead, they are fucking dead.
And the last thing they saw were their allies exploding and a demon.
Well, you did
And a
ask
big
for more
fuck off
grenades.
hunter.
As far as you can surmise, that was it. It's the only enemy you encountered so far. What do you do?
I'm gonna take the plasma grenades from the grunts or jackals.
Well,
if
the
they have
first
any.
thing to do is check if any of them had communications equipment.
That too.
Because if that is the
Anything
case,
that
then the
looks
base is on
vaguely
alert
like a
and we have to forego stealth for speed.
Would they have had a chance, though?
Do you do so?
Oh my god. Okay, Groot, I need you.
Okay.
Like, literally, I am Rocket to...
Shut up.
Yeah, I am Rocket to Arshram's Groot.
Hunter's just gonna
Archo,
look
can
for
I start
equipment
climbing back the cliff?
and grenades.
You cannot climb up, no. But by this point, you do catch up with Hunter, Zapato, Reiko, and Kevin. Do you check their bodies?
I am.
Yeah.
Might as well loot them and see if they have anything useful, and maybe slightly bury the corpses in the snow.
Looking through their equipment, you don't think you see any communicative equipment at all.
Rocco, you're a liaison. Do you have any specific things to look for?
Just strip them of any gear we could use, weapons, grenades, if any of these idiots had them, ammo, and then bury the corpses and move on and hope no one heard the ruckus.
Hunter takes 2 plasma grenades.
You find 2, precisely.
Nice.
They have no other grenades.
You'll then turn to Ashuram and ask for his frag back.
Arsharam is at the top of the
I mean,
cliff.
I'm up the cliff.
Yeah.
I'm rejoining my tall friend.
I suppose I could throw it, but
You just toss it down to me.
okay, I'll go throwing roll, please. Let's see how well I can keep it on target.
That's a failure. It lands 10
Oh
meters.
well.
10 meters from Hunter.
I walk 10 meters and I pick up my frag grenade.
Unmarked, as requested.
I got my frag back, that's all that matters. Now I have 2 plasma grenades and 1 frag.
All right. Do you all continue onward?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm back in front after I get out of defensive.
So, does the valley open up, narrow down, or what's the terrain immediately after the battle zone?
It's been 300 meters. No, not 300. It's been about 700 meters of this specific crevice so far. And as Group 1 in the crevice continues onward, they have 700 more meters to go.
I mean, me and Mike are at the top, so we should be able to see a bit further than that.
Yes, and as you and Mike are still at the top of the cliff face, and you make your way up the mountain still, both groups, first, Arsharam and Mike, you get to the very peak, or what you thought was the peak. Because as you crest over the lip of this incline, you have to suddenly stop yourself as there's a sheer drop that you weren't expecting. And before you, you see a roughly circular canyon, not quite a canyon. It's like a giant pit. It's as though... Yes, it's as though the peaks of 3 different mountains are all converging together, although not quite, creating this giant pit in the middle of this mountain. And in that, right around the middle of it, you see this. A 100-meter tall concealment spire. Ignore the environment around it in this picture. It is instead cradled in this snowy, canyon-esque place with the tips of the mountaintops almost framing its peak. And from its apex, the 4 prongs that would project a shield over this local area, instead it is projecting a beam of energy straight into the sky. And it isn't long before the group in the crevice soon finds the path widen immensely, just abruptly, with no indication. And when it does, you find that the snow and the fog clears up immediately. And before you you see the site of the concealment spire, although from your perspective it looks a lot taller. Arshram and Mike, you're almost eye level with the 4 prongs at the top of this thing.
Ah, this is good, then.
Well, it looks like you had a good idea.
Well, see, I'm not sure if I could do it with you, but Archon can definitely paradrop, so just jump off the edge and float his way onto the top of the spire, and that way we can attack from above and below.
Well,
If I can take you with me, then we could have you do tech stuff, or you stay on the cliff and stay as artillery support. Hunter, what are your thoughts?
Or, I'm literally holding a grenade launcher and I'm looking down at this spire. I can play the part of orbital bombardment.
He could also.
Would a
do the same
concussion
if
launcher
he-
appreciably damage the structure?
Looking at it, Mike, and given the amount of damage this thing did to those grunts earlier, you're pretty sure it would be like firing a 22 caliber gun at a Scorpion tank, so not really.
Okay.
What I'm thinking.
Yeah, because the
Ashram.
grenade launcher isn't an anti-material weapon.
Okay.
But I'm thinking, Ashuram takes Mike to the top, and he just rains hell from on high.
If Ashram can do that.
If he can, that's the big if.
If
My
not,
red
we...
plasma rifle can suppress, but I think the better idea would be to have Mike rain hell as I stay in front of him and put up a barricade.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking. We're actually a pretty good 1-2 combination punch. He's excellent with close quarters, and I have the long range.
Trip the alarm, wait for all of the grunts to start swarming up the tower, and then you guys push into the base.
Alright.
You're not quite sure about the enemy presence at the moment, but we can see about that.
Pulling
no
nerds
obvious
sounds very
sentries.
fun.
Hunter wearing infiltration armor, he's going to put his assault rifle on his back, take out his magnum, because that's easier to move around with. He's going to do a bit of scouting.
Do Reiko, Zapata, and Kevin and Alf stay at the mouth of the crevice entrance?
I'm going to say Zapata, yes. Yeah, they'll stay there. It's better if it's just one man. I've got a good stealth score. I'll scout ahead, see what the enemy presence is like, and check back in.
Alrighty. Hunter, you attach your assault rifle to your back magnets, whatever they're called. The photoreactive paneling of your spy armor shifts, shutters, and turns white, as you are then colored the same as your as your ambient environment. Forgot the word there. You creep forward. As you exit the mouth of this crevice, you find yourself presented with one path in the middle and two paths to either side. The ones to either side appear to be elevated ridge lines that you could try going up, but the path in the middle is essentially a straight slope downward to the lower part of this canyon environment where the spire is situated. The spire itself...
I.e. the box, where I go if I want to die. I think I'll stick to the elevated ridges and try to stay in the back lines as sneaky as I can.
Left or right?
Hold on, let me roll myself. Side. That's a 1 left.
Any obvious sentries so far?
As you creep up the left ridge line, Hunter, it's as though the ridge is sort of... The spire itself is situated roughly in the middle of this ovular pit with about 20 meters of space between the spire's base and the edge of the walls, cliff faces. The ridgeline you go up goes roughly halfway round the circular area, and as you look out over it, you see two groups of 6 grunts each and 2 brutes, both wielding spikers.
Okay. Anything particular about these brutes? Anything denoting rank? Anything particular?
You've not seen this kind of armor in any of the simulations at boot camp, so you're not sure what it means, although it appears not very ornate. It's just bland turquoise.
It takes notes of this. Quietly radios this to the group. And decides to go back, check the right.
Okay.
I think me and Ostrom should be the ones to start the party.
No. We don't know what we're dealing with. Let me sneak.
Okay.
I'd say that a Washaram. Information is the greatest weapon one can have.
Yes. Hunter, you make your way back to the 3 intersecting paths and up the right ridgeline. And This one goes about a third of the way around the circular area, and you don't see much of anything else. There's a few what you know to be weapons recharge stations and one undeployed energy shield, the kind of deployable cover that they tend to use, the Covenant. But no, there's one group of grunts is situated at the far side of this circular canyon area, sort of just milling about. Well, not really milling. They're sitting on the ground in a circle and appear to be talking to each other. The other group of grunts is relatively near to the mouth of that crevice, although on the other side of the ridgeline, so they can't really spot your team. The two brutes, meanwhile, both of them are near enough to either group of grunts to be assumed to be their commanders.
Any heavy weapon emplacements, plasma turrets, shade turrets, anything to that effect in place?
It doesn't appear to be, no. This is surprisingly bare bones. There's no plasma turrets, no shade turrets, no vehicles. No, this is... I mean, granted, there's not much space to move around here. You realize, especially with the spire here, it would be extremely difficult for even a Banshee to fly into this canyon space. So you surmise that they couldn't really move anything in here after teleporting the spire to this location.
Sends that information back to the group. Is there anything, I know this is a long shot, anything that I can see on the tower moving about, anything that looks like that it might be there, considering that there's a bit of, like an energy field around part of the spire that looks like it's stable ground. Able to see like any shifts in that might indicate there are people up there.
Craning your neck upward and subconsciously activating your helmet's zoom function, you don't see anything in particular, no. If you had to guess, this was all set up extremely quickly at the last possible minute.
Sends that back to the... Alright, he's going to keep that little nugget of information to himself. Go back to the group. And tell them, from what I could tell, all of this seems like it was set up real quickly. There's hardly anything there. But I don't think we should take that with face value. I believe we should be careful as who they might have something else in the spire itself playing guard dog.
They don't appear to have heard any of the weapons fire from the crevice either.
Thank Bumblefuck.
We must move quickly. They will expect their patrol back soon.
This is fair, but at least we dealt with the patrol before we got here. Alright.
Yeah, in that case, then our next question is order of engagement. Does Arsham and Mike jump onto the tower and raise the alarm first, and then the rest of you come in? Or do you attack the bottom and we try to destroy the spire itself whilst you keep the troops busy?
I will say, the jump from the peak of your cliff and the spire's circular viewing platform is like about 20 meters out and 10 meters down. You think you could throw Mike that distance, but that might injure him.
That might be a bad idea. Because if you fuck that up...
Nobody tosses a dwarf!
That's a really big boo-boo.
I can jump that far myself with the assistance of the anti-gravity belt. It won't take both our weights.
Well, can they... Can they paint targets for me to shoot at on the HUD?
You could try, although you haven't actually attempted such interface between this Covey helmet you're wearing and their UNSC brand helmets.
But wait, now we have a question of risk versus reward. If Arshram jumps onto the tower, sure, we get a two-front attack, but then Mike is defenseless if a brute gets a lucky shot in with the spiker.
No, I'm pretty sure they're on the ground.
Yeah, we're way up. We're way up there.
Yeah, Arsharam and...
I'm 100%. That's out of range for a spiker.
It more or less is, yeah. Arsharam and Mike. You're 100 meters up from the bottom of this... what the hell do you even call it? I'm just going to say canyon.
Yeah, I can like legitimately just envisioning in my head like Mike can just sit there and start raining shells down into the canyon from above.
Yeah.
Actually, here's a thought. Rather than just throwing Mike directly across, if I can throw him upwards on an arc, then jump across myself and try and catch him, that may work.
Your anti-gravity belt is... It kind of makes you float slowly to begin with. Maybe
I don't mean float. I mean, throw him up into the air.
Yeah.
And under normal gravity, he'll go on a parabola and start falling. In the meantime, I jump across, and hopefully the parabola will intercept where I've landed on the platform, so that then I can catch him and absorb the shot.
Complete veto on this idea.
Again, Mushu, consider this. If anything fucks this up, that's a very big ouchie.
Yes,
Here's
but it is
an
also
idea.
in character for the principal zealot Arsharam, who doesn't care about sacrificing himself, you, or everyone, as long as he gets the mission success that he wants.
Here's a better idea. This thing has gravity lifts. Let's just go slowly in as quietly as possible, kill the guards, take the lift up, kill more guards, and get ready to deactivate the tower.
Yes, but here's the thing: if there are guards in the tower, they're gonna send a message saying, "Hey, we're under attack."
I said quietly.
No. Like, legitimately, we're focused too much on how to get, like, certain things in place. Like, Mike is already in the second best place to shoot from. And,
This is true.
like, legitimately, no matter what tactic is employed, like, you're still going to have artillery. It's just
This is true.
You know, it really doesn't matter. But if I'm up here, you know, Ashram can still board the spire and start taking it from within if he needs to.
That's true.
And I can provide artillery support to the entire force from where I'm at.
Looking down, I will mention, looking down there at the bottom of this pit, Al-Sharam and Mike, you see the one group of grunts on the far side of the spire's base come round, seemingly on patrol for whatever reason, just casually strolling around near to the side of the pit where the crevice entrance is, and this is the rough layout of the area nearest to the crevice entrance. The crevice being about 10 meters south of the purple square in the bottom right corner there.
Yeah, so legitimately at any point that in any tactic that you guys want to employ, you're going to have artillery support going down. It's just a question of how. It's not a question of how I'm going to get to where I'm going because I'm already in a great spot. It's a question of what Ashram's going to do.
It's just a question of your safety. Do they have it? If they have a sniper or anything, then you're prime material for them since they'll be posted at the top.
But if they have a sniper, and you go over to that spire, you're going to kill them. If they have a sniper on the ground, I don't notice him before he notices me. He's going to kill me. It is what it is at that point.
Not to mention, he probably won't notice you if we go in as you start raining hell.
Exactly. So
exactly. That's why I said first. Then it would be better for the ground team to engage. Then I jump on, and then Mike starts shooting.
Yeah. So basically, they establish battle lines, and then I disrupt.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. That's a solid plan. Let's do this.
So anyway, I started blasting.
So I guess we need turn order in order to actually see, finally, who goes when.
Turn order will be rolled when combat begins.
In that case, Arco, I'm just going to
in
find the
that case,
best
time for
advantageous
Archon
position.
to roll stealth to jump onto the tower without lighting up everybody.
And I'm going to find the most advantageous position.
All right.
Alright.
Takes out his assault rifle.
Loads it. Ready to go.
Yes. Archeron. What was that?
I just said that seems like a crit fail unless we're measuring things higher is better.
Because I wasn't expecting this outcome, I'm just gonna... I'm just gonna ignore that, actually. Because there's no reason for the enemy to be suspecting you here. Anyway. Al-Sharam, you...
He lands in front of them. Gentlemen, your asses are grasses.
Hello there.
Al-Sharam, you leap off the cliff edge, your anti-gravity belt activating and holding you up for long enough that your thrusters fire and you are launched forward. You land at the lip of the circular energy platform near the spire's top. And while you're doing that, Mike, you situation yourself, you walk rightward along the cliff edge, nearer to where the crevice entrance is, and you are at about N18, although it's not visible on the map here, but that seems like a good enough spot to shoot from. You can see all of the enemies there.
Outstanding.
All right.
I'm just going to give myself as much cover as possible.
Hunter, Zapata, Reiko, and Alf, Kevin, how do you approach?
We want to draw as much attention as possible. So, Zappa does the spearhead.
Yeah, I can go in, and if they're close enough, I can use my homing spray and just hose down like a group of enemies. That should get their attention. Or I can just use the fuel rod and cause a big fuck-off explosion on somebody.
I think big boom. We want all of their attention on us, so we're just gonna go in. Hunter leading the actual big hunter with the big gun, leading the charge, followed by Reiko, Alf, myself, and Kevin behind us.
This is acceptable.
Yeah, let's
This
not
is
let the medic
very
get
acceptable.
This works for me.
What do you think, Slacker? That good for you?
Yeah, ideally, you don't want Kevin in a battle.
So we're just gonna go in guns blazing.
Okay.
Just be like, hey, we're right here. Come and fucking get us.
All right.
I'm going to make sure to be in defensive posture first, just in case.
Okay. Zapata, Alf, Hunter, Kevin, and Reiko, you sprint down the middle path. And you wind up within that purple square, roughly. The enemy, seeing you come in, are initially shocked. And this is where we will roll the actual initiative.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Press up. 3 for 3, don't sue us.
I think Bungie still owns the rights to Halo.
Bungie, don't sue us.
Whoever owns it, please, dear Lord, do not sue us.
Be like Sonic. Be happy we're so passionate about your franchise. Make some microphone, please work.
Yes.
Oh, that's the second time Mike has gotten 75.
Oh, really?
Strange.
It's time for more murder.
Murder is fun.
You want me to put that in an order for you, Archo?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright.
I am being watched.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, motherfucker, a brute's going before me.
Oh yeah, that's right, for initiative, higher is better.
Kevin is last.
You know, mighty Kevin.
That's why I chose the fucking name.
You mortals dare invade the lair of mighty Kevin.
Mighty Kevin will heal you.
But that's fine, we want them to go first so that they push forward and engage us. If anything, Mike is actually going too early, since we want him and Archon to move
Yeah,
last.
I'm literally gonna hold my initiative on this.
I will say, you will get a surprise round off before this initiative takes effect.
Oh.
No, that's the wrong thing.
By the way, I am totally gonna smack one of those brutes in the face with a fuel rod. It is already decided.
Arco, why'd you post the image again?
So that I don't have to scroll up further to see it.
Touche.
Though I actually have it in front of me on the ground here. What am I doing? Never mind.
I'm actually gonna take part in combat, yay. Instead of just running and falling off the cliff.
It was a very graceful fall.
Yeah, and I
Nice,
fell
well,
with
Did
well
I
done.
get them all, Archo?
You left off me.
Did I miss someone?
You left off Alf and Arsharam.
Right, thank you. Let me get that fixed.
Right, it's alright. I had a window issue with my documents.
1 second, please.
Darn it, now I have the theme stuck in my head.
I started humming it. I merely joined in because it's fucking catchy.
I'll be listening to the Mjolnir mix.
Okay. Wait. 52. And Ashuram I left off.
Yeah,
29.
Thank you, Ashuram. It's not your number I have. It's goddamn name. Because, God knows, I'm not gonna remember how to spell that shit. That should be everybody.
Okay, on surprise round first.
Yep. And in the case of the surprise round, you choose who goes first.
Zapata.
Yeah, Zapata.
Zapata.
The big boy.
Then Mike, because he has the grenade launcher.
No, I should go dead
I told
last.
Mike third at
that makes sense.
last.
Yeah, that makes sense.
First
Last,
Zapata, then the Spartans and everyone else, and then Mike.
Yeah, because the thing about it is, the more confusion that we sow into them, it's going to be better off for us. So you guys run around the corner, screaming, yelling, guns waving, and then all of a sudden hell just starts opening up from the skies.
Yeah,
We could
makes
also
sense.
call them harsh words, if that helps.
Come and get us, you fucking Donkey Kong ripoff!
They wouldn't understand Donkey Kong.
I understand.
Zapata, what do you do?
Well, since they're surprised, are they going to get a reaction shot first?
Not at the moment, no.
Yes. Okay, so I'm going to wait. Which square am I in?
You are in 16Q.
Ah. Okay. Where is the brutes?
One brute is at 12E, and another brute is at 4P.
Okay. So, I'm going to move my full range towards that brute. The brute at P.
Okay.
Okay, when I get there, I'm hunch over into defensive. So when if they actually get the chance to shoot at me, it won't do anything.
They do not.
Yeah. Well, for next round, if they actually survive.
Mm.
And I'm going to shoot a fuel rod right into that brute's face.
Okay. Hmm. That is a miss.
Damn.
The fuel rod flies past the brute's shoulder
Lucky bastard.
and against the far cliff face. You still have 2 actions.
Ow. Then I'm going to fire again.
Okay.
This brute is definitely gonna be confused. Miss? What the fuck?
So I shot, and then I missed, and I shot again.
Yeah!
Unfortunately for this poor bastard, it doesn't look like he's going to get out of it unscathed.
No, this time it hits.
All he wanted to do was sell you some Girl Scout cookies.
No, where are the Girl Scouts, boss?
Fuck out of here with your Girl Scout cookies.
How about a Thin Met motherfucker?
I want some too.
Hot better.
Okay, how fucked up is this brute?
Well, for one, you fire your fuel rod. The bolt sails toward the brute and hits the ground about a meter from his feet.
Yikes.
A bright green flash, massive booming noise, and when the smoke clears, his shock plates are depleted, and they seem to have burst off of his body, and he is now without protection.
Oh, that's disappointing for him because I still have one more action.
No, actually, you spent your actions.
Oh, damn it.
Heavy weapons take 2 actions.
Lucky bastard.
Yep. Next. Who's up next?
That would be me, but I'm holding my turn.
Yeah, no, your last. How far away is the brute from me? The brute that Zapata just shot?
1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24 meters.
Now, imagine you remember that scene where Chief was. You remember that scene where Chief held up a frag grenade? Yeah, I think you know what I want to do. I want to throw a frag grenade at that brute while I'm running to cover.
You don't have any frags. You have a plasma grenade, though.
No, I got a frag from Asharam. Remember, I got that one.
Oh yeah, you did. My apologies.
I gave him his lucky grenade.
As I'm running, toss it at him.
No,
Don't
it's a failure.
What?
It's a failure.
Fuck.
Movement.
What other action? I have 3.5 actions.
Throwing a grenade was 1.
So 2.5 now.
You also moved.
So just 2. What's near me that I can just start taking pot shots at?
You moved your full 18 meters of movement, yeah?
Yeah, just trying to get to the closest cover I can.
That would be the roughly star-shaped half cover at T8 and 9.
As Uniphiles just start shooting at the unarmored brute with my assault rifle.
Alrighty.
Just dump the mag. That'll like get his attention.
I would also like to mention, if you ever need full cover around here, get behind me, because I currently count as full cover.
All right, yeah, forget the star. I'll just run to Zapata as I start shooting at him.
Hang on a minute. Zapata is at Q9.
Too far.
No. That's close enough for you to run up behind Zapata, yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay behind him and mag dump my assault rifle at that brute.
You do have enough ammo left in your magazine to fire a full dump, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you do... Well, actually, hang on, let me take your stats into account.
Ladies and gentlemen, the math portion of this game.
Math is fun, they said.
This is why I called it intensive on poor Archo.
Mm-hmm. All right, you level your assault rifle at this brute. You jam the trigger. It sprays the rest of your mag at it, and it's certainly bloodied. You nail most of your shots, most of your rounds, nail it in the chest and face, and the thing, it snarls and howls in pain and looks right miffed.
As I'm behind Zapata, the brute then sees Hunter's hand appear from behind Zapata, flipping him off.
He does not know what that means.
Yeah, I take it that just confuses him even more. It makes him...
You took cover, you shot, you threw a grenade. You have 1 action left, I believe.
I mean, my only other action I could do at that point is swap to my pistol. That's not gonna do much.
Reload.
You could say harsh words.
Yeah, I'll fuck it. I'll just reload. Good.
All right. Yes, you reload, and that is the end of your turn. Who's next?
If no one else is going, Rico can start moving around.
Yes. Where do you go?
Well, Rico will kind of look around, see how much confusion has been sown, and as he starts moving up towards the giant sentient moving cover that is Zabuta, he will just lay down suppressing fire at any idiot looking at them.
Keeping in mind, Hunter's already taken cover behind Zapata, so you can't either.
Alright, in that case, he will move towards those like little red crates by going towards like the big green cover first and kind of going around that to head towards them.
Okay.
Energy sword.
You just about can move fast enough to make it to the crate at H10. And you are firing as you go?
Yep, just using my plasma rifle to lay down suppressing fire as I move to try to keep their heads down as I am moving forward.
I'll just rule that as a normal fire action then.
Alright.
With reduced accuracy.
That is fine with me. Daka 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 daka.
No, it's less daka daka daka, more pee.
Durka.
And you're aiming at the grunts?
Yeah, I'm just kind of shooting at the grunts, trying to encourage them to get their heads down or die quickly.
Yes, get lower to the ground.
I think you hit at least one of them.
Hang on. Where the hell was the... There was the damage. Wrong thing. There it is, okay.
Durka.
Alright, you fire... You spray your plasma rifle at these grunts as you sprint toward the weapon crate, and 7 of your bolts do find their target. And as they do, 3 of the grunts are dead.
That's 3 less problems to deal with.
You still have 4 actions.
Alright, he will proceed to keep firing at the grunts, seeing if he can't kill a few more. The sticks to cover.
Loot the weapons crate?
We can loot them after the battle. It's probably not a good idea to be ravaging around in the cover that I'm currently using.
Nah, Master Chief does it all the time. It's fine.
Master Chief has
Right,
broken
Master
OP luck.
Chief. He's like miles away from us.
Yeah, that bastard has luck. We, on the other hand, do not.
Shasta Meef reporting for duty.
We have a bunch of idiots.
You fire your plasma rifle at this group of grunts. Again, blue blobs of light fire from your weapon and strike them. 8 of your rounds find their mark, and 2 more grunts die. Their carapaces bursting open and flesh bubbling out, blue blood stained black. Although your plasma rifle now overheats and wastes 1 action point. You have 2 actions left.
He kind of curses himself for being a little too enthusiastic, remembering he has made similar errors during training. Let's see, what kind of...
You technically could
2
keep firing.
actions. I could. You know what? He will hold his remaining actions to take pot shots at any grunts who decide to come out of cover.
They are not currently in cover. You took them completely by surprise.
Oh, in that case, more pew pew, please. Just trying to take him out as at least as many as he can out, while kind of shaking his hand out to kind of like ow, ow, hot, hot, but need to kill.
You fire your plasma rifle again, and all the grunts are dead now. I don't even need to do the math.
Yay! And all it cost him was slight plasma burns.
Good work, buddy.
Which grunt lance was that?
We are a fucking spear.
The best is yet to come.
Alright,
Now
if that
one.
was all, Rico would just stick to his cover and wait for further actions.
Alright, fair enough. Although there is a brute, and you have one action left.
Kill the brute.
In that case, the brute is now getting a bukkake of plasma.
What about grenade, if you have any of those?
Do not have any grenades, but I do have a gun that is currently still having ammo. So the brute is getting some plasma.
Ooh, fun.
Overload the gun and turn it into a grenade.
That's a bad idea. Then I'm out of a gun and I'm now stored in a beam rifle.
Yeah, exactly. You're a Sanghili with a sword. You're more dangerous that way, not less.
This is not honorable combat. This is wiping up the garbage.
Oh! Yes.
Meh.
Basically, his sword is his last ditch weapon. He'd rather not use it unless it's its only other option.
Now, Archo, I do have one question. Which grunt lance was the one that was wiped out?
The one at 1112 CD.
By the red crates.
Okay, is that the circle one?
Picture. Yeah, the leftmost
Yeah.
blue circle.
Yeah.
There was still a brute there. And as you fire your plasma rifle at the brute, Draco, he does manage to dodge and only takes 4 of the bolts you fire at him. His shock plates do burst and shatter from his body, but he doesn't take much damage.
At least in the first round of combat, we knocked off all their protection.
Who's next?
I will be.
All right. You are at 16S. What do you do?
I can run to the 1-star looking cover, correct?
You can, although you'll have to go at... You have to go to 9U as... Yeah, 9U.
Doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm. And what do you do?
There are still grunts there, correct?
There are... Yeah, the grunts at QR34 are completely unharmed thus far.
Can I throw a grenade at them?
Do you have grenades?
Yes, I have 2 frags.
Ah, good. Good roll.
Yes.
Ooh.
Boomy. Boomy time.
Boom boom time.
Well then. You throw the grenade, you run up behind this object, Alf, which, by the way, appears to be a communicative antenna. It's on these 3 stilt-like legs with odd plasma energy just vibrating off of it with a single spear-like projection upwards.
Okay.
As you run up next to it and you chuck a grenade, it rolls about U4, and well, 4 of the grunts die.
Yes.
The explosion, it doesn't send any of them flying, but the shrapnel it tears through them and punctures their limbs and torsos and leaves 4 of them just on the ground in lacerated heaps.
How many? That took 1 action, correct?
Yeah.
I have how many?
3.5 left.
So just pop 1 bullet into each of their heads individually.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my battle rifle and start popping shots, basically.
Okay.
Poor grunts didn't know what hit him.
These brutes didn't know what's about to hit them.
All of those hits. You level your battle rifle, Alf, and just one after the other, the 2 remaining grunts that are alive, you just but in the heads, and they
It's
collapse.
like fucking duck hunt.
2 grunts!
And what Alf hears in his head is confetti going off.
Sure.
And there's also like each headshot. There's like a yay.
You still have 2.5 actions.
Can I shoot the brute?
Yes. Yes, you can.
I'm gonna shoot at the brute.
Could he melee the brute?
He's too far away. And he's spent already half his movement.
And I'd rather not get into melee with the brute.
Oh, damn. Oh, all of those are crits for some reason.
Because we rolled 6d10 instead of 6
Hang on. Sorry.
What happened? Who we got hit?
Oh
no.
Oh no.
Well, that's still 2 crits and 4 near crit.
Those all hit too, and 2 of them are criticals.
The one at the end is like Omega crit. Like, you got a 1. You did.
You shoot
Oh,
it, the last
great.
bullet goes through its skull, hits a rock, goes back through its skull, bounces off your opponent's shields, goes back through its skull.
No, guys, if this was an actual TV show, this would totally be the time when we have an appropriately dramatic flashback to Alf training with Linda and her being like, the secret to putting it right between the eyes is...
Yep.
Thing is, my Spartan was part of Red Team. So the Jerome, Douglas, and Alice.
The drones.
Nice.
You unload these 6 shots into this brute, Alf, from vaguely his side, and all of them, 2 of them hit him in the bicep and tricep. 2 of them hit him in essentially the kidney area, producing spurts of red blood that splatter onto the snow, and 1 hits him right in the chin. But he's still kicking, and he howls. Just, it is horrible to listen to, and he is right miffed.
I don't feel bad for this stupid fucking monkey. Fuck him.
Do I have one more action left?
No, seriously, this brute at this point is that guy from Austin Powers. That got dumped into the fucking pit. It's like, I'm still alive. I'm just very, very badly burned.
You still have 1 action, yeah.
Shoot him again.
Old man, I would like to note he has been shot at twice by by a fucking fuel rod cannon. Then shot at again by Hunter. Yeah, Hunter. And then is now being shot at again by Alf.
It's fucking rude.
Actually, Alf, your magazine is empty. You have to reload.
Crap.
Now, that was the one part that you can never... That was the one part of lessons from Linda that you can never internalize. You have to keep track of your ammo. You have half an action.
Flip him the bird
Take
with
a
some
selfie.
foul language.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Very well. Who's
Go eat a
next?
banana, monkey face.
Who wants to go next? I believe...
I suppose that is me and Mike, and since Mike gets to go last for dramatic reasons.
What about Kevin?
There's also Kevin.
So, a quick question on the arrangement of the stealth pylon then. Is the stealth pylon laid out as we see in the picture, or is it the standard Covenant design with the bulbous head?
The concealment spire is, as I showed in the image from Halo Reach. What you see here in the top left of this battle map is essentially the lower right quadrant of the spire's base. Is that clear? Or...
I see. Well then,
Arshram,
in
you...
that case, Arshram is going to forego attacking any enemies. He's going to go after the structure itself and sever all of... I'm sure you can see the tubes that are linking the top module to the main body of the spire. He's going to burn a point of twice as bright, push himself to the limit, and go for the flashy... One strike cuts through multiple tethers.
Well, the thing about that is you're currently at the top of the spire's energy platform thing.
Yeah.
And in any case, the plan wasn't... That would disable the spire, although the plan isn't to do that just yet. The plan is to,
Synchronized, right?
yeah, kill all the enemies.
That will draw attention. Are there any enemies on the top platform?
You don't know yet. You can try going inside the spire's control room.
Right. Time to kick the door down then and see who's inside.
You creep in. Unfortunately, I have no map for this, but you creep inside this control room, and as you make your way around the circular hallway, you are met face to face with a brute with a spiker. By now, he has heard the gunfire from below and is ready.
Is he facing towards me or away from me?
Yes, you almost bump into each other, actually. What do you do?
In this case, it'll be go for the throat.
All right.
So I'll use an action to transform into Hard Light Blade, and then both my attack actions will be on Hard Light Blade. Should I burn a point of twice as bright? I'll do that as well.
Okay, then.
So this is Arshram, the all-in assassin.
It's like doing the same thing Zapato's doing down there, just like, you. Fuck you in particular.
Just Asheram sees a brute. Also Asheram, prison check.
I hope you have a terrible night's sleep, Mr. Brute.
At the start of combat...
Arshram is actually thinking back to his own instructions if we're doing the flashbacks, and He's reading a text of some Sangheli swordmaster that says, "You must never make multiple cuts. Each cut must be a singular act of beauty." In any case, let's roll it out and see the results.
Yes.
I hope Ashram knows you can't bore someone to death in the middle of combat.
Oh.
Crit fail, that's one. But thankfully I made 2 attacks.
Well, I have to roll and see what the crit fail does first.
Oh no.
Yikes.
Oh no.
Yeah, with how Twice as Bright works, even that 1 attack can kill because it gives a 1.25 damage multiplier.
Well, it's a failed attack, so it doesn't even hit, really. And B, it's critically failing, so... Unless I'm forgetting the rules I wrote, damn it. What the hell am I doing? Okay, yeah, no. Yeah, no, that's not how they... 14 severity. That is... I really should have mapped this out first. You swing your blade at the brute's near to its face, Arsharam, but the brute, he's a crafty one. He's a swift one. He leans back just in time as the tip of your hard light blade whooshes past, just short of his throat. And when it does, the brute gets a free counterattack.
Good thing Ashram has an excellent dodge score.
You cannot dodge melee or counterattacks, really. Or am I forgetting that too again? Yeah, no, I'm not actually. Where the hell were the stats for the brutes again? I really should have.
Quick question, can I see what's going on?
Not really.
You
It's
can't because I'm inside. But don't worry, even if he does hit me, I have the cloth of the gods protecting me.
yeah, right. So you swing his blade at his face, this brute's face. He snarls in surprise, but leans back just in time to avoid it, and he tries to throw a right cross at you, Arsharam, but you just twist your body and it flies past. It misses.
Okay, thankfully I have a second attack. Don't go for the face, aim for the armpit. There are several major arteries that run through. If I can sever that, he'll still bleed out, and hopefully he'll make a lot of noise whilst doing so.
That is a success. Yes, that's a success. Are you burning another point of Twice as Bright?
If I burn 2, then I'll have to start waiting. But, on the other hand, burn another point of Twice as Bright.
So you are.
Consequences are for the weak.
So you are doing it.
I am indeed, come what may.
Okay, you hit. That is 2.5 laceration, 1 puncture, 3 energy. Ooh.
Plus 20%.
Yes, it is. So, 3 laceration, 3 puncture and 1 energy. Or was it 3 energy? Yeah. Fucking hell. Wow, I should have been more prepared for this. Okay. You swing your blade again, Arsharam. It bounces off his shock plating energy shields at first, but they swiftly burst and the armor plating on his body falls off as in the next microseconds your hardlight blade stabs right just under his collarbone, and he is severely wounded by this. He howls, snarls at you, practically just screams in your face, really.
That's good, that's good. Make noise.
And your hardlight blade deactivates.
As
Yikes.
expected. And with my 1 remaining...
That was the severity for your...
Yeah, that's about average.
Yeah, there you go. You feel this pang of vertigo just pound through your head, and you sway in your feet a bit, but you're okay for the moment.
The price of calling upon the god's grace. Now we wait and see if anybody answers this one's call. To prepare for that, I'd like to use my reaction to project the hard light barrier.
Unfortunately, given that you started the combat with Erudite Buckler and switched to the hard light blade, which cost an action, and made 2 melee attacks,
That's 3, with 1 left. Arsham's character sheet does give him 4 actions, unless I have copied them incorrectly.
Yeah, you have 1.75 actions, actually.
Thus, I should be able to switch back.
Switch to what?
Erudite Buckler, and then use the reactions to project hard light barrier.
Oh yeah, it switches to Buckler automatically, really. Hard light shield. You do so. You now have a panel of glowing energy between you and the brute. And that is the end of your turn.
It is indeed. The point isn't to kill him outright. The idea is to have him make a lot of noise hammering at my shield, so that everybody else either comes up or gets confused.
Kevin, your turn.
Kevin will get into cover.
Cover where?
M16, is it? M16, 15?
There you go. You can just about make it there. And what do you do?
Does he notice any enemies? Are they in range?
There is one brute in front of you at 12E. It, if I can find your damn sheet here somewhere, hang on. "10 meters.
10 meters of movement, 2.5 actions, 1.5 reactions.
Your SMG is not close enough to fire at it, really.
Could I lay down prone and make this into full cover?
Not really, no. It's essentially a flat rock that you already have to crouch to use as cover anyway. So, lying down, it would give you full cover, but you wouldn't be able to shoot anything. Your plasma pistol is in range of the brute.
Let's see here. I'll use an overcharged shot then.
Okay.
That should use all my actions, right?
That will use... You would have one action... Well, no, actually. You would have half an action left.
Switching to the plasma pistol would take 1, and then the overcharged shot is 1.5, so I should have no actions left.
Switching takes half an action. Taking cover takes half an action.
Ah.
That is a failure, unfortunately. You charge the pistol, it shakes in your hand as you hold it in front of you, and you let go of the trigger. The bolt, bright and green, flies toward the brute and sails just past his head as he ducks.
Wait, it's homing, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it is. And that's taken into account with the boost to the hit chance.
Damn.
You have half an action left.
Flip it off, harsh language.
No, I'll switch back to the SMG.
Fair enough. End of your turn, Mike. Is it your
Well,
turn?
Mike has been having a good time, huh?
Yeah.
Everyone down has been blasted, and somebody
Paranoia
inside is
starts
screaming.
fucking playing.
Okay, so there's 2 brutes left right down that I can see.
Yep. They look like ants from up here.
Oh, good. It's time to be the exterminator. You said E12?
E12, yes.
And there's another one at P4 and 5, right?
P4, yeah.
Which one looks
The one at
most screwed
P4
up?
is probably going to be obliterated by me and Hunter.
Okay, so I'm going to be taking shots at the one at E13.
Okay. As before, one of the bolts you fire misses. It thumps through your shoulder as you deal with the surprising amount of recoil, which is not how the holograms on the simulator were. But 2 of them land near enough. Both shots land around a meter from the brute's feet, one just behind it and one on its right. And they deal... And, if I can find them. That's... 4 force, 1 energy. Okay. If I remember correctly, this brute's shock plates were depleted by Reiko's plasma rifle earlier.
Yes.
Okay, then. The blasts from the 2 explosions behind and to the right of this brute, he stumbles on his feet and raises an arm as his fur is mildly seared, but he seems mostly okay.
Okay, I have 2 actions. Is this a heavy weapon I'm using?
No, it's a regular weapon, although from earlier you did fire... You already fired 3 shots, and you now have to reload.
Reload?
All right then.
And I only have 2 actions, so I think I'm completely out right now, right?
You have half an action left, but yeah, pretty much.
Flip it off.
Fair enough. The brute is absolutely flabbergasted at having been fired on from above, and squints, trying to see where you shot him from.
Wait, I can spit, can't I?
Yes!
Spit at him!
You know, that son of a bitch! He looks at me, squints, and just...
Roll, damn it!
I think you gotta roll.
Psychological damage must be considered.
Yes! Roll that psychological damage.
No.
Sadness.
Next time we gotta consider psychological damage.
Here's the thing.
So, out of interest, Archo, where does Brute C, the one who was inside the tower, fit into the initiative scheme?
Oh shit, I forgot to roll his initiative. Let me do that now.
If I spit and roll the 1, it turns into an ice shard and pierces his brain.
36, so... Both Grunt Lancers are already dead. So, Brute C goes after Hunter and before Arsharam. It's now Brute A's turn. The one that you just shot at, Mike. He is not amused.
He also spat on him. Don't forget that.
Yes. This brute immediately snarls and runs round the corner of these 2 weapons crates toward Reiko. And Reiko, you see this really large, really angry brute rush at you with his spiker, and he tries to melee you with these spikers to twin bayonets.
Rico's like, why me?
By my ancestors, why?
You could shoot at him, since it would be a reaction shot.
Good point.
Yes, you could
Waste-
try.
wasteful of- Rico will try to shoot the charging brute as a oh fuck die.
Very well. Now, I will say, because it's a moving target, that reduces your base accuracy to... what was it again? Damn it. Where the hell did I put that? And I think I planned for that, actually. Oh, never mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you unload your plasma rifle into its face as it rushes at you, snarling all the while. And before it can take 2 steps towards you, the entirety of its face and chest are bloody craters, burned, charred, and it falls to the floor.
Nice.
Yay.
Under's high fives all around after this.
Zapata, it's your turn now.
Come on, you know what I'm about to do. Fjorod cannon. Brute. His face.
The cocky shot.
Prank him, Zabata.
The brute will attempt to dodge that. just fails. You raise your fuel rod. You raise your assault cannon, Zapata. The brute sees you do this. You look at it in the eye. It looks at your quote-unquote eyes. It knows it's screwed. And you fire your fuel rod at it. It hits it in the leg. It doesn't have a leg anymore, and it falls over.
That thing is fucking dead.
It writhes and squirms, but you assume it just goes into shock and keels over.
And this is where Zapata, after seeing every human here basically do some sort of weird hand gesture or scream at it, just decides to do the same kind of gesture with its shield. It doesn't have any fingers, but it's just like it's trying to give a middle finger to it. It's like,
You do this.
Hunter pats the golden hunter on his tries to. Good effort.
sad hunter noises. Just, oh.
No, Hunter's proud.
Given that there is only one enemy left, and given that Ashram is the only person, well, near to it, I will roll now. We'll move on to Brute C's turn, really. The Brute turns tail and runs away. He, having been shanked by you, Arsharam, the Brute appears to do a mental calculation and sprints away from you toward the control room.
Interesting. On the one hand, good. We're getting attention. On the other, we don't want that place to be packed full of enemies. So follow.
Do you attempt to react to it?
No, let him go. And when it's my turn, chase after him.
All right, well, it's your turn now.
Okay, so chase after where we saw the brute. Into the control.
Yes, you see him, and he's desperately tapping on the controls of the holographic controls of the Spire's control center.
Any chance I could hazard a guess at what he's doing? So, for example, if he's triggering local alarms, that's all well and good. If he's attempting to contact our ship, the quarry we've been assigned to hunt, that could be very bad.
Well, you know that these Spires don't really have a local alarm system, and you would guess pretty safely that he's trying to warn the other forces at the other two Spires.
Okay then, so in that case, we still don't need to kill him. If the hard light shield hasn't dissipated yet, then I would charge and slide and try and lever the brute off his feet with it.
All right, I'll rule that as a melee attack then.
It would be. It would just be a special one that doesn't necessarily deal damage, but rather waste time.
Okay, by the way, since, no one's talking right now, I just want to say that when he said he turned tail and run, did a mental calculation in his head, I'd like to think he did a mental math and came out with the words, yeah, I'm fucked, and just turned and ran. It was like, nope.
You just succeed, Arsharam. You run at this brute from behind. He looks at you out of the corner of his eye, tries to press one last button, one last key on the holographic controls before you slide across the ground, and the bottom edge of your shield just slams into the side of his knee, and he buckles. Doesn't break his leg, but you have soundly stopped him from using the console at the moment.
It probably didn't tickle.
Okay, that would give me, I'm guessing, about 2 actions left. Let me check the exact action costs.
Melee attacks are 0.75.
Yep, so that would give me 3.25 left. So since he is buckled over, my next move would be to place my gauntlet right next to his head and simply say cease. Hopefully he'll be intimidated into not risking his life.
The look in this brute's eye, he's sort of kneeling.
He was clever enough to prioritize self-preservation over suicidal bravery.
This brute, he's on one knee at the moment. He looks up and at you out of the corner of his left eye, and he just, you can tell he really, really wants to. He wants to either warn the rest of his forces, his friends, or rip you apart. But at the same time, there's a hesitance in there, and he, after a really long moment, he eventually grumbles. You think he's speaking his native language, which you don't quite understand.
I was assigned to a ship, so yes.
And the translation software in your helmet, because it would be programmed to translate Jirahane, it sort of goes ... or the Covenant script equivalent of it, instead of saying it's pending on trying to find a precise translation.
It's buffering.
Yeah, the Jirahane language is... A growl could mean a lot of things, a grumble. It's a very imprecise tongue. But eventually it sort of settles on acknowledgement, which you take to mean that, yeah, this brute has surrendered.
Okay, then, in that case, I'd use my remaining actions, if possible, to move behind him, out of his immediate line of sight, and ready myself for immediate execution, and radio the rest of the squad. Arsharam here. 1 prisoner, prevented outbound transmission.
Alrighty then. What do you all do?
Shouldn't we make our way inside next?
Yeah, that would be the best idea. Go inside, secure the prisoner, and I guess for now hold this tower into news of the other 2 towers have reached us.
Actually, a quick question. How is Mike gonna get down?
Not it.
You have to figure that out, won't you? Mike, you're left on the edge of this cliff face. It's still really cold.
Yeah.
No, once we've secured the prisoner, I'll go along and we'll help Mike down into the valley, and we can come around the long way. Time isn't that much of an issue.
Yeah, combat is over for all intents and purposes. You, Zapata and Reiko, because you know what these spires are like, you lead the way into the tunnel that goes through the middle of the spire's base, and you lead the humans up the gravity lift, the 2 gravity lifts up to the spire's top. Reiko, Zapata, you hold the brute prisoner. Reiko, you have your energy sword out and activated, your plasma rifle pointed at this brute's face. And Zapata, you're a hunter.
Well, Ashram is still going to salute that brute because you are a worthy opponent. And in the end, your actions may have saved countless trillions of lives. So for that, you have my gratitude and the favor of the gods.
The brute sneers at you. The skin on his snout sort of wrinkles, and he bares his teeth at you, and he says, "Do not insult me with your pretensions, traitor."
And at this, because Zapata fucking hates brutes, he bonks him on top of the head with his shield and just rumbles, "Silence!"
Yeah, you.
Bonk.
The brute is damn near knocked out cold, but he falls flat on his face on the floor.
Plus concussion.
Yeah, concussion. It takes him a while to get back up onto his feet.
Seeing the brute get knocked down, Hunter says, he looked better on the floor.
Wow,
And-
this
and-
is...
Archo is considering his answer to that accusation.
Yes.
And I am a traitor. In this, you are absolutely correct. I make no excuses for my sins, but I'll continue to fight till the end. I know you can as well, brother. I met one much like you on the transport craft. The next time we meet, may we do so as friends.
And as you say that, and as the brute groans and struggles to remember what year it is, you make your way out onto the outer platform of the spire's top. You use your gravity belt and thruster and maneuvering thrusters to go and retrieve Mike and ferry him to the spire's control room.
Hunter.
Well, my last comment to Mike would be, I believe that this shows just how much fun a party goer I can be.
There you go.
Hey.
Nice.
Hunter is going to, if possible, send a message to the Lich telling them that they've seized control of one of the spires, and he's going to ask for the status of the other two teams, if other two teams were sent.
You attempt to send your transmission. You get a response back. You realize from the Lich, it's the voice of the Grunt, the weapons officer that you were told would be in contact with you. And he says, "Acknowledged. We've heard no word from Girvan yet. Our team is still working. We'll let you know when we're done."
Acknowledged.
What is that human saying? Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait.
Yes. You're all left standing in the control room of this concealment spire. Not sure quite how long you'll have to wait, but you are confident that you at least got your part of the job done first.
May I make a suggestion? We set up a defensive position just in case there was a patrol out that we might have missed.
That's a good point. Before we do that, Hunter will say to everyone, Fire Team Dervish, I'd like to say, great work out there. And Mike, way to prove me wrong. And he gives him a salute.
Return the salute, and then just shoulder the concussion rifle. I'm gonna try to find a place where I can play God again, and rain down death and destruction from on high.
And I will point to Alf, motion for him to follow me. I'll also do the same with Rocco. The three of us will go. We'll go and set up a defensive perimeter. I'll turn to Zapata and say to him, if he tries to get out, crush him.
Zapata just responds with a rumble that sounds more like an evil laugh than anything. Just.
Hunter holds back the urge to that and goes.
And with that, we end session 3.
Fuck yeah, it was the best fucking session so far. Wow.
So much murder. I almost got my ass kicked.
Don't worry, buddy. Next time, we'll have your back.
Me and the encyclopedia of happy thoughts are
It's literally Rocket and Groot. It's
Yeah,
great.
it literally is Rocket and Groot at this point.
Except Groot. is
Except
more
the Rocket
verbose.
doesn't talk much and Groot does all the
I
motivational
know,
talking.
right?
Alright, I'm gonna go real quick, change Hunter's relationships for session 3.
Yeah.
And I will do that in a little bit. But, Arco, if you want to play us out.
Where? I posted a funny meme in the memes channel. I want everybody to look at.
Alright, go on, boss. If you want to show the audience that.
Alright, where is... Oh, the memes channel. There we go. Alright, Hunter also attempting the bird.
You a little confused when you got the spear.
This is true.
And with that,
Except for this try.
audience, well, that's session 3 for you. Obviously, the combat system will be tweaked in the future, and it will be improved. But that's it for now. See you soon.
Yee.
Yeah!